Today I've been blessed with the opportunity to come and be with the Sangat of Singapore and have been invited to do a bit of vichar in English, to sit with you to talk about what it means for us to all get here together and why we're celebrating this auspicious occasion that we call Vaisakhi. I'm really thankful to the Sangat and the committee for having the foresight and the vision for allowing prachar to be done in English. Sometimes when young kathavachiks, young pracharaks are starting to try something new, to do something different, there's often opposition. And some of the opposition is always around the language. कि तुसी अपनी कथा पंजाबी च करो, पंजाबी च क्यों नहीं करदे? And my response is always that not only should prachar be done in English and in Punjabi, there should be prachar done in Chinese and French and Spanish and German and Mexican and every other language under the sun. So I'm really thankful to the committee and for the Sangat for allowing for the Khalsa to progress into new uncharted territories. And today I've been asked to talk about what is Vaisakhi? Why are we celebrating Vaisakhi? And rather than me sit here and give you my understanding, I always like to ask the Sangat first, have a think for a moment, why are you celebrating Vaisakhi? What does Vaisakhi mean to you? Is Vaisakhi a historic event for you? Are we celebrating a moment in history? During the Guru's times, Vaisakhi was a harvest festival. Is that what it means for us? Are we celebrating the birth of an army, the birth of the Khalsa, an army based on Sikh values? What are we celebrating? Are we celebrating the uprising of the common people against oppression from Mughal invaders? Is that what Vaisakhi means to us? And while all of the statements that I've just said are true, there's a danger in viewing Vaisakhi from just that angle. And the danger is that as long as Vaisakhi is something that happened in the past, we run the danger of making Vaisakhi and the Khalsa a historic relic. Something that happened in the past, something that happened in the old days. One of the common arguments for people who don't want to live up to the Khalsa values, one of the common arguments they say is the Khalsa was created because of Mughal oppression. There are no Mughals oppressing us now, so there's no need for these Panchkakar. You hear all these sorts of arguments. It's the same sort of arguments that say that Guru Granth Sahib Ji is also old. It's 300 years old. And some people sometimes give you this impression. They say, if you're ill, you're not going to go to an old doctor with old medicines. Today you have to go to a new doctor with new medicines. Because what we've done, when we don't have answers to these sorts of comments and questions, is because we've created Sikhi as something that happened in the past, and now we're just trying to revive the memory of that past. But what if we are to understand that the Khalsa is not a historic relic, but the Khalsa is just as relevant today? We have to ask ourselves these questions. Is it relevant? Does it need modernizing? A question I always like to think about is, if Guru Gobind Singh Ji came today, what kind of Khalsa would he make today? But you know what? The Guru never left us. The Khalsa, most people have forgotten, is also a Guru. Most of the time, even to young children, we teach them that there are only 11 Gurus of the Sikhs, the 10 human Gurus and the one Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But whatever happened to Khalsa Mero Sajjan Sura, Khalsa Mero Satgur Pura? Whatever happened to that Guru? How did we get to the situation where we forgot that the Gurgaddi was given to the Guru Granth and the Guru Panth? How did we get to that situation? I'm not a historian, I'm not going to start looking at the history. But you don't have to dig very deep to see that there is a Guru that we've forgotten, and that is the Guru Khalsa Panth. And it is the wisdom that is in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, but the body is here. The physical act of carrying out the wisdom of the Guru is here amongst the collective. So it's okay for us to sit and reflect upon the Khalsa and say, what is the Khalsa today? What should the Khalsa be doing? A really interesting fact that is very rarely ever talked about, and certainly very rarely reflected about and reflected on, is this idea that let's just look at the Panj Pyare and see what kind of characteristics, what kind of people were they. We can read the lives of the Panj Pyare, but there's one very important and interesting fact, that the Khalsa is a tradition not only that is relevant for today, it is a tradition that's relevant for all mankind. And the way that we understand this is we have to look at one simple fact. Where did the first Panj Pyare come from? Today, we make the mistake of thinking that the Panj Pyare were 5 Punjabis. We think Panj Pyare were 5 Punjabis. But they weren't. So I'd like to just share with you that as a first fact. That the Khalsa is truly a tradition that unites all humanity. It breaks away all discrimination, all caste discrimination, all discrimination of people from different regions. Everyone was seen as one. Guruji even goes as far as saying that Khalsa is my jat and my path. Khalsa is my caste. Bhai Daya Singh Ji, the first of the Panj Pyare, is a shopkeeper from Lahore, which is in Pakistan today. Bhai Taram Singh Ji is a farmer from an area near Delhi, Hastinapur. Bhai Himmat Singh Ji is a water carrier from Jagannath Puri in Odisha, which is on the eastern side of India near West Bengal. Bhai Mokkam Singh Ji is a tailor from Dwarka in Gujarat. Let that idea sink just for a moment. One of the Panj Pyare was a Gujarati person. Have you ever thought about that? We think of the Panj Pyare as Punjabis. Imagine what their dialects would have been. Bhai Sahib Singh Ji is a barber from Karnataka, a town, Bidar, which is near Hyderabad today, right in the center of India. You just have to look at a map of India and you see how far away these places are, how far away those people must have traveled in order to reach Anandpur Sahib in 1699. And do you think just one person would have traveled on their own? I like to think that there were entire jathas and entire groups of people that were all traveling from all around different parts of India, maybe as far as Tibet, maybe as far as Afghanistan and Kabul, maybe as far south as Sri Lanka. These were the people who were attracted to the Guru at the time of the Gurus. Khalsa ji, today, where are the Chinese Sikhs? Where are the Malaysian Sikhs, the Thai Sikhs, the Sri Lankan Sikhs, the French Sikhs, the Spanish Sikhs? Where are they? Certainly not sitting in this darbar today. So because we've not understood the Khalsa is genuinely for the whole world, we've forgotten to teach the message of the Guru to the whole world. But there's only one way that you can teach the message of the Guru. First, you have to learn it yourself. You have to think, what is this message of the Guru? What is Guru Granth Sahib Ji teaching us? What did Guru Nanak Dev Ji bring to the world? And more importantly, not just what was the message of the Guru, what was so amazing about the message that it was worth dying for. Remember, when Guruji asked for a head, we like to romanticize it these days. Guru asked for a head and one person proudly stood up. Guruji wasn't just asking for a head. Guruji was asking one person from the Sangat to volunteer right here, right now, who is ready to die right now. Who is ready to have their life taken away from them right now? Who is ready to commit suicide now for the Guru? And 5 Gursikhs stood up. What did they stand up for? What was so amazing about the Bani of the Guru that they said, let the Bani survive, let this message survive even if I don't survive? What was so important that they're saying, not that I'm willing to die for a battle, I'm willing to die just because my Guru has asked for it? What was it? And do we have that? Have we learned that message of the Guru so deeply? Have we fallen in love with it so deeply that right here, right now, anybody asks, you say, I'm ready. I'm already dead. Because the Guru has killed my ego. I'm already dead. So what if you take my body? Do we have that level of relationship with the Guru? And please understand, I'm not saying this to make anyone feel guilty. I have no interest in making you reflect upon this message from a guilt perspective. Oh no, I'm not that good of a Sikh. I'm not interested in that. I'm genuinely asking you a question. Do we know what's contained in Guru Granth Sahib Ji that might be so precious that one day if we understood it, we'd be willing to die for it? Do we know, do we have that connection with the Guru? As I've understood Gurbani from the little knowledge that the Guru has given me, what we're celebrating with Vaisakhi is not a historic event. What we're celebrating is a Guru that has the ability to transform ordinary human beings into superhuman beings. There's a good friend of mine, he would wear the Khalsa Bana all the time. And what he says to his children, he says, when I wear these clothes, the reason I wear these clothes is because I'm a Khalsa and I'm a superhero. Their children think, Daddy's a superhero. When Daddy wears ordinary clothes, he goes to work, but then every now and then he wears the Bana and he's a superhero. And what is the role of a superhero? To save the world. And when I learned that, I thought that was beautiful. I started saying that to my children. They say, Dad, you're always going somewhere. You're always traveling somewhere. I said, yeah, the Guru has given me a job. This is the uniform. Your dad has also become a superhero, and I'm there to help people with the message of the Guru. This is not out of hankar that I'm saying it. I don't want them to look at the Khalsa and then they look at the rest of the world and they say, this Khalsa is out of date. Today I was lucky enough, I was taken to Orchard Road, the big shopping district where all the expensive shops are. And what is happening is our teenagers are going to those places and they're looking at all the bright lights and all the handsome models and the good-looking supermodels and all the fancy clothes and all these tasty foods. And they're saying, this is the real world. This is where happiness is. Mom, Dad, why do I want to do this part? Why do I want to do this old ancient stuff? Why do I need to keep my hair? And the truth of the matter is, we don't have an answer. Most of us struggle to give an answer to these simple questions. Whose fault is that? Today, what excuse do we have to not read Gurbani? The Gurbani can be downloaded on our phones. We can download them and we can read Gurbani in our own language. And I don't know about you, but when I wake up in the morning, the phone is the first thing I do namaskar to. Phone is the first thing I look at in the morning and the last thing I think about at night. Maybe a message has come. Maybe somebody has remembered me. Use that phone. It's fine, don't worry about it. Use the phone. The Guru can also be right there. So Gurbani to me represents the transformation of mankind. What the Khalsa is not an outdated warrior. Maybe what the Khalsa is, what the Guru has created, is the ideal human being. Do you see the difference? The difference in terminology changes how we think about it. Most of us have become apologetic about our dharma. We feel a bit sorry. Oh, I need to explain to you why I'm wearing a turban. I need to explain to you why my hair is so long. When I walk around, people ask me, what is this? I say, this is the sign of the happiest man alive. Do you want some? Do you want some of this happiness? Because I get this happiness from something called my Guru. Change your understanding. Don't just be proud of being a Sikh. Have the wisdom of the Guru. And then the whole world will look at you and say, there's something special about this person. The whole of the world is miserable. Nanak dukhiya sab sansar. That's true today as well. Today, mental health, depression, suicide, these are going up. Guru Nanak was right. Dukhiya sab sansar, but not the Khalsa. Har kirtan sune, har kirtan gaave, tis jan dukh nikat nahi aave. By listening to kirtan, by singing kirtan alone, as we're doing right now, tis jan dukh nikat nahi aave. This person cannot suffer if you understand what the kirtan is, not just singing along. So the Khalsa represents the transformation of human beings from sparrows to hawks. From slaves, we became kings. Guru Gobind Singh Ji says this, Atam ras che jaan hi so hai Khalsa dev, prab mein moh mein taas mein ranchak nahi na pev. The one who has known the inner spirit, Atam rasche janhi, so hai Khalas Dev. You're not a human being anymore. You're a Devta. And have we heard this message before? Guru Nanak Dev Ji says the same thing. Balhari gur apne devhari sadvar, jin manas te devte kiye. I bow down to the Guru that transforms human beings into super gods. Superhumans, super gods, Guru Nanak says that. And he doesn't even take a second. This is the Khalsa. We are not to be afraid of anyone, nor are we to instill fear in anyone, nor should we be apologetic for the greatness that the Guru has bestowed upon us. So how are you going to change? Sounds nice. Khalsa, superhero, wears a nice superhero cape. Sounds good. But we're not living in the movies, we're living in the real world. Once you leave the darbar, then you have to go into the real world, you have to run your businesses, you have to go to your work. But the Guru doesn't leave us. So Satgur Pyara mere naal hai, jithe kithe manu le chadai. We have to recognize that the Guru came here to save us. And when the Guru saves us, we can help save other people with the message of the Guru. Not us, we can't do anything. It's the wisdom of the Guru that can save. Now the question you have to ask yourself is, am I living the perfect life? Is my life right now the best it can be, or can it be slightly better? Are there problems in my life that the Guru can save? You know, we think the Guru is always talking about God. The Guru is talking about you and your mind. The Guru is talking about your sadness and your happiness and your anger issues and your anxiety issues. The Guru has solutions for all of these things. Today the world is struggling for solutions for these things. And we come and we matha take this Guru who has the solution, but we're too afraid to read Gurbani. Don't be afraid of the Guru. Embrace the Guru. So the question is, how are you going to change? And more importantly, why should I change? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Why do I need to change? Do I need to change? Does changing mean I have to take on this external form? Let's worry about the internal wisdom. The external form, I'm sorry to say, we have a lot of Khalsa looking people, but the mentality of the Khalsa is still lacking. Don't focus on the external form. Don't look at the Khalsa and say, oh no, do I have to do all this stuff? That's why people are afraid of taking Amrit. That's why Vaisakhi is coming and maybe some people will be afraid to take Amrit. Don't look at Khalsa in that way. Look at the Khalsa as the perfect human being and say, do I want to be that kind of perfect human being? What will make you change and what will you use to get there? We only have one doctor and we only have one medicine. And the Guru is our doctor and Naam is the medicine. And if you take that Naam and you go so deep into that Naam that you disappear into the Naam, then maybe you might be ready to say one day, I'm ready to be a Khalsa. So, thank you so much for just allowing me a few minutes to sit with you. On Sunday, I'm going to be doing a workshop specifically going into the Khalsa, talking a lot more detail about Khalsa, Vaisakhi, Amrit, what is the necessity of Amrit, and asking this relevant question, is the Khalsa relevant today? So from tomorrow at 9:30 on level 4, I'm starting a whole morning of workshops in English for teenagers. Saturday also doing some workshops, and Sunday also from 9:30 to 2:30. It will be my blessing if you give me your darshan and you join me. So I hope I haven't offended anyone or made any mistakes. If I have, please forgive me. And I look forward to serving the Sangat more over the next couple of days. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.